Welcome to The Girl Herd,
where we talk Texas football.
and a bunch of takes you've probably already heard.
But not from us.
Well.
Another crazy week.
That's how I feel. I feel like this right now. Like, well. It's November. We done won this game against Vandy, a top 10 win, and people been talking about us. They said we were going to lose, and I mean, I'm excited. Like, I feel like nothing has changed. It's still choose your own adventure, but I'm kind of embracing the chaos. And I think down the stretch, not only Texas, but overall college football, we are in for a really fun finish to the regular season.
I agree. You saying like this made me think of Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. And I feel like that's our team, truly. And even college football as a whole this year, it's been madness, but we talked a little bit in the chat too. This is the time, right? Now we've been leaning on our defense, and now this week our offense was who carried us through this game. And to think of what's going to happen when all three sides of the ball are firing at the same time really makes me excited for the rest of the stretch.
Yeah, it's been fun to see our offense like that. I mean, a lot of people commented the first quarter was really fun to watch. Don't jinx us. I kept telling people, okay, I love this. I love this for us. Now we got to play that way all four quarters. But our offense really carried their side this game. And I loved being back home and hearing our crowd as well, and beating a top 10 team. Felt pretty good.
Yeah. Only one of two teams in all of college football will do it more than once. So here we are.
People look at us making stats.
Yeah, unranking us, which someone said it. I think it was Roosh Williams on Twitter. He was like, they had a massive overreaction to Texas losing to Florida. And I think now we're finally starting to see that. It's like, sheesh, we went from like where we were to like they just knocked us down so far and devalued us. But we're used to that. And I think it's all playing in our favor. I love that we, as we were saying all last year, line it up, play the games. And that's what we have here with our last 3 games of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's the trend we've been seeing too. Look at all the coaches being fired. Look at all the people that wanted Sark to be fired. And we're talking about Arch. And now what, right? Now we win one game and you're like, oh, gosh, everything's great and perfect. But everybody wants to be so reactionary to every little bit of information and every ounce of any kind of mess up. And it's crazy to see the influence that social media and what people are saying has on the game.
Yeah, there's been there's other people that have talked about that. We've talked about that as well, like what people do behind keyboards and how people are just quick to react to everything that happens. And, it's funny. Like we have a lot of these conversations. We have a lot of friends who are talking about all sorts of things, and people just always want to come for Texas, of course. But when it's our own fans coming for our own people, our quarterback, our coach, it's just like, man, like chill. We still have so much football left, and we have 3 very big games to play, and let's see how those go. And love that the bye week is coming at a great time. I feel like we say that every time, but we've seen a lot of injuries so far, and I'm looking forward to that coming now too.
Yeah, we definitely need the R&R.
And speaking of rest and relaxation and what our team needs, last weekend we had fun in Austin, and we want to give a shout out.
We had a lot of exciting things happening. And honestly, shout out to Hilton Austin. They are the ones who really anchored our weekend and gave us the ATX fan experience. You can check out their website at Hilton Austin if you are interested in that. But they showed us the works. I mean, they hosted us, put us up in a nice suite. They've got great accommodations. They treated us to a 5-star dinner, gave us drink tickets and free breakfast. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you're coming out for a game day, would highly recommend staying there. It's a beautiful property. It's not far from campus, and our experience was very seamless.
Yeah. We definitely, for a very early game, I feel like we had the perfect cozy night in to wake up early and get going for the game. And we had met some people there too, and they were talking about how perfect it was to leave the hotel. They make a pit stop at Schultz's Beer Garden. That's like the halfway point from the hotel to the stadium. So like you said, couldn't have asked for a better night in and a better place to stay than the Hilton in Austin.
Game day was, as we were mentioning before, such a great time being back at DKR. I feel like the fan energy was up even for an 11 a.m. game. And I mean, y'all, like we scored within seconds of the game starting, which I think was just that tone setter. Angie mentioned it before. Defense has been carrying us all season. So it was nice to see that flipped on its head. And it was like, I don't know. I feel like we all had this like proverbial like sigh of relief in the stadium. Like, okay, we're already starting ahead. Vandy's number 9, but like we're gonna be all right in this. And it just like kept going from there. So
yeah, I don't think that I went into that game or any of us with us being up 17-0 to Vandy. I did not foresee that being on the bingo card. I remember we had talked to some people before the game about a little boy, right? About what his predictions of the score were. And nobody was saying that. Nobody, which I absolutely loved. Like our offense came out guns a-blazing. And that's what we've been asking to see from them this whole season, right? Our offensive line had their best performance yet. And it really then opened up the field and allowed Arch to really showcase his natural abilities. And I think that they felt it, right? They really had to protect him on Saturday. And you could feel that, especially with the shift that we had with left guard and center. Like it made the world of a difference.
Yeah, several, people were talking about that. And like, that's what we've been talking about. Like everyone wanted to go ham on Arch or Sark or whatever it was. And like, it needed to be, again, the big picture, like what was happening. And we knew our offensive line was a big part of it. And then what that ended up moving to, right? Like Arch feeling more protected, different calls being played were a big situation of this game too. All the above. We also had Baxter back, which was amazing. We saw our run game kind of hit a little there, and it was really cool to see. All of us were, of course, in the stands, and like speaking of Angie, like 17-0, we were just like, all of us had goosebumps. We were all turning around in the stands being like, oh my God, like we didn't see this, but this is really cool to see. It was a really fun game to experience, and it was really nice being back home. I know it was nice for our guys and being back in our home stadium. And it was a great game.
Yeah, I love like Arch is all smiles after. He was all smiles during the game, but after in the press conference talking about Cole Hudson, he was happy. It's like he's just thinking, you can like read his thoughts almost like I'm gonna be all right back here now, and I'm like I can probably cook. But I have to say, some of the things I was mentioning last week on the pod, I feel like came true about Vandy, which was their whole identity doesn't work for them anymore. And so it's kind of the reverse of what we've been talking about with us. Like we've been working to find our identity. They gave us preseason number 1, but we were all like, I don't know. Then we go and lose to Ohio State first game. And we've been trying to put the pieces together. And I feel like we've gotten stronger and stronger every week in figuring out who we are. But for Vandy, they're coming into that game and people were talking on Twitter about Diego's words, saying that we're like Louis Vuitton and they're whatever they were. I forgot what he said.
Junkyard or something.
Yeah, and it's like, but you're like not. You're ranked number 9 and we're not. And I honestly think that caught up to them because it's like, what are you playing for? It's like you don't have that dog in you anymore because you did what you were supposed to do. And I mean, hats off to where they got to, but I feel like that kind of got in their head.
I think it's funny too because they are a private school, right? It costs a lot of money to go to Vanderbilt. So yes, you might have had some players with that mentality, but if we're really looking at it, it costs way more money to go to Vanderbilt than it does to Texas, which I think is funny. But shout out to like our game plan and the defensive plan that we had to get him rattled and for him to really not be able to do what he wants to do and run all over us with until the fourth quarter, right? Which we could talk about later, but hats off to us for, the first 3 quarters and really disrupting him. I don't remember how many, was it like 6 or 7 sacks that we had on him? And he hadn't had that much like the whole season.
He had 7 sacks the whole season and we got 6 in this game, which was, very cool to see.
6-7.
That's where this is coming. Like everything is sitting.
People are like, I want 6-7 to die. I'm like, why? It's like funny. Also, like, I don't know if people are aware of this, but like 2 and 3 year olds know 6'7". Like it goes all the way down to that young of age. It's very hilarious.
And the fact that it means nothing, like here we are.
No, literally.
Well, and I had to laugh because we literally sit in seats of our 4 seats that we have, 6 and 7 are part of them, and I was like, here we are, like all of this is coming together. But yeah, no, I a shout out to us. Yes, agreed. Like our game plan all around, like offensive, defensive side of the ball, I was very pleased to see. And we've been asking for that. Like, what are we doing? What's happening? Like, why are we falling apart? And why haven't we read what they were doing? Which is kind of how you felt in the fourth quarter, where you were like, we are not settled in. We don't know what's happening. We're getting confused. And we were missing. Well, we've talked about missing Taft, but also missing Jelani McDonald. So you could feel that. And hopefully, of course, going into these next few weeks, we figure that out. But hey, now they got to see that as well. But I agree, like the underdog thing, everything that we've been talking about, we've talked a lot about Vandy and how it was. And I just think like, I like Diego Pavia. I like what he's proven. I like what he's been able to do at Vanderbilt. But at a certain point, you're just like, okay, like you're doing too much. You're talking too much. And I feel like was still trying to do that going into this game where it's like, bro, y'all are good. You've done a lot for the program. You've done a lot for your team. And like, just have fun with this now. And I mean, hey, I'll say in the fourth quarter, he was still trying to pull it out. And I give him props for that too, really.
I mean, I think it's difficult though. Like it's the identity that he rode with. And the interesting thing is going into LSU, they beat them. He wasn't talking. And everybody was like, okay, like he's not saying anything. And they won the game. And I don't know. I think he posted something. I don't know what he posted. I didn't go look at it. But I don't think he was doing a bunch of talk. They like talked to him. He made the Louis Vuitton comment. But then he had a lot of like really nice things to say about Arch. I just think at the end of the day, like, when you're the poor man who becomes rich, it's like, what's your motivation anymore? And I think that started to catch up to Vanderbilt. And so it'll be interesting to see program-wise what they do moving forward because, that just like simply doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. It's hard. They're going to have to figure it out, right? Like every team kind of does. You got to rebrand. But Misha, like that you brought up us missing Taft and Jelani going out because PK, right? He's one of the best on the defensive side of the ball. But I was wondering, I'm like, we started getting blown out our cover zones, like for defense, like when we moved into that, they were busting coverages left and right. So getting those two back on the field is going to be huge for us. But it also makes me, I'm like, why did we get out of man, right? When we were running man, our guys were running with them. So what was the reasoning behind that switch? And I'm interested to see moving forward what they're going to do, what the scheme is going to be, because now I feel like all of these teams really know where our weaknesses are and that lapse of communication that we're having in the secondary.
Yeah, we've seen it multiple times. And so I've thought about that because a lot of people are talking about it. And I was like, oh no, like our holes are being shown. But I will say too, like we've had holes in different ways in different parts of the game and ball. And we've, been able to fix them. So I kind of hope, obviously, going into this bye and then going into the rest of the season, we can still figure those out because it's almost like what does Devin always say? Like, choose your own adventure. So sometimes you're just like, we think we have holes and all of a sudden we fix them. So I'm going to hope that's something we fix as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to Oklahoma game, multiple picks, and they were so locked in. I think it was a symptom of the flow of the game, and Sark sort of touched on it in his press conference, cleaning up the fourth quarter. But to be honest with you, I think after halftime, starting with the refs, like everybody was like sort of asleep at the wheel, and that includes our defense and all the things we're talking about right now. And so then it was like, I think it was just like we were fine. And then like we weren't fine because at the end they were about to like get that onside. It was just like, what is going on? Like I actually walked out because there was so much rain getting on me. And so I'm like watching it on the screen in the Terrace Club and I'm like, wait a second. Like,
are we really still playing this game?
How is the clock not 0-0?
Yeah.
It was like somebody took us and made us a voodoo doll, and somebody was like just messing with our team left and right in the fourth quarter. But the refs, Lord, I still can't get over that 2-point conversion call and like the eruption in GKR when they said that the call was going to be upheld. It's crazy to me. I'm like, how are you going to change a game? Like, you shouldn't be influencing the game that much.
I did see one water bottle get thrown, and I'm so glad they didn't do more, because I'm like, baby, we're about to get fined and we need this money for NIL. But also, people were saying, I mean, I don't do any sort of betting. People were saying that they literally had to do that because Vegas, whatever numbers in Vegas. And honestly, I believe it.
Now the SEC refs try to be like the NBA. What's really going on?
Facts.
I know. I mean, y'all know how I feel. I get like so heated with these, whatever. I was talking to my mom too, and I was like, look, I never want to say that we lost a game because of refs. Like, I'm not going to be that person. We did it. We had our own trials and tribulations throughout that, like, especially the fourth quarter. But there was a certain point where I was like, my main thing about refs is I want there to be consistency. And it just fell apart, where you were like, okay, this is blatant. Like, what is happening? Like, throughout the game, fine. There wasn't calls here and there. I'm sure Vanderbilt is saying this, whatever. But then, like, those last few that were literally momentum changes, score change, where you're just like, what is happening? That makes you really believe people are doing the betting thing.
To your point with Jelani going out, like, it became an issue. Like, it became a different game when he had to go out of the game. And so, okay, ref, you missed a call, but now they're getting multiple opportunities and multiple drives, and it's putting a gash in us. Our players are all injured, and yeah, like, it was borderline. It was starting to become scary at the end.
Yeah. Even with Mosley, and then saying he didn't catch the ball, but then you also don't want to call a PI, which was clearly a PI, another huge momentum shift in that game. I'm like, we cannot have it. Why is it that the SEC refs are so bad when this is the best conference in college football and you can't get the best refs? Like, I'm baffled.
We're playing at home, but I just think that goes to show you again, like, we're never going to be given anything. So I don't want to hear it from any other school. Look at Florida-Georgia game, because that was totally a catch in that game at the end. Florida receiver, arms are underneath the ball. It bounces up off of his arm, and Georgia gets the call. Like,
what is Kirby doing that he's getting all these damn calls his way? We need to know.
I don't know. I don't want to be riled up already for the Georgia game going in.
I'm ready. I'm like, you know what? And you know what? I think they said it the last two times we played them. So we played them twice last year. And outside of the obnoxious drunk dog barking people, I would say most of their fans came up to me and they were like, oh, y'all are going to get us next time. Like, I think they were getting increasingly more nervous. And so they're playing at home. We know what that's about to be. It's going to be at night. They're out here talking about blackout game for them, whatever.
Of course.
But I still like our chances because our team loves going on the road. We've talked about this so much. Yeah. And so my spidey senses don't have nerves, y'all. So I feel like that's fine.
We love the spidey senses.
We love no nerves. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. Like, obviously, we've answered these questions. We've talked about this. Like, again, there's still so much football left. We have some really exciting games. Devin, you put it well last time. Like, we have a lot of opportunities still to go. So obviously going to Georgia, as I've said this, is my most nerve-wracking game. But after this game especially, I feel really good about our team, and I'm ready to go forward. And then 2 games at home, and
it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be so fun, so fun. But yeah, I mean, Georgia's gonna be wild. It really is. But I hope, we talked about this during the game this week of like how on one Colin was. Like, I need him to bottle that up and give a dose of it to everybody on the team, because if we come out at Georgia and Athens and we have that kind of energy, you never know.
Yeah, to preview them, because I know we'll talk extensively on next week's show, but to preview to the preview, one thing that gives me confidence is Georgia's defense is not the defense they used to have. Our defense is much better than theirs. Their offense has some edge over ours, or it did, but that's why I think we're feeling good, because our offense is starting to figure it out. And so I think it's great. And I think it's even more great because after that Florida game, the conference and all of our rivals in ops, they were trying to write us off. And now they're just sitting there, especially A&M in Georgia. They're like, dang, like, so y'all coming to us and you have everything to play for. That's different than we sitting here 5-4 and it's like, it don't matter. Texas is out and y'all can just dunk on us. No, we can knock one of y'all off of here. And it might be we take your playoff spot. So I'm excited.
Chess, set, match.
Yeah. Y'all are giving me chills now. I'm ready for it.
Can't wait to break down the game next week and really dive into what's going to happen in Athens.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we are so excited for the rest of the season, and we can't wait to get back to DKR for the final 2 games. If you're still looking for a place to stay, like we mentioned, Hilton Austin is the place to be. Their ATX fan experience is a great package to look into. You can check out their website. It comes with complimentary self-parking for 1 vehicle. It comes with free beer and appetizer vouchers, breakfast as well, upgraded Wi-Fi, late checkout, y'all, the work. So go to Hilton Austin and get that package for the last 2 home games.
Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Yeah.